Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mark Cutter, and I'm running as an independent candidate for the Castle Ward here in the city centre of Lancaster. And I intended to make use of yesterday, which was the 23rd of April, to highlight the importance of the arts. The reason for that being my theme was that it was Shakespeare's birthday, historically. And I wanted to use that to highlight the importance of working with the external agencies that fund the majority of arts in this city. So the County Council to protect our cultural assets such as the museum, the library, the Maritime Museum, Judges' Lodgings, Cottage Museum and so on. And to also see a greater investment, and I have been working with some parts of the County Council in a private capacity, to see a development of cultural assets and areas such as the amphitheatre behind the Priory and other things already myself. But I'd like to see a commitment from the City Council to really protect the arts here in the city. And that also means the private arts. And it's well known that I invest quite a large amount of money in music here in the city. And I also sponsor personally a number of theatrical events, both in venues that I own, but also at the theatres around the city. And it's always been my great pleasure to do that, and I'm continuing to do that. But I want to see more of a commitment by the city as a whole to the arts. And it was my intention to talk about that at length yesterday, and in fact I did, but unfortunately the video seems to have been eaten by YouTube. So I'm going to reproduce that later and spare you a nice talk about the history of theatre at the moment. But just say, keep it in your minds, that it's really important that we keep the arts alive in this city, and not just at times when the city's thronging with visitors such as the Jazz Festival and Music Festival, but to support the arts all year round. And instead of repeating what I said yesterday, I'm going to just leave it at that with the thoughts on the arts. And I'm going to just tell you very quickly about two things I did yesterday. One, I watched the husting that was hosted by Lancaster Guardian of our parliamentary candidates for Lancaster and Fleetwood. And I'd recommend you all do the same. It's really important that you get a sense of who the candidates are that you might be voting for, and not just party ticket swing or tactically vote. Actually look at the people and decide if you'd like to vote for them, if you think they would make a good MP. And the other thing I did was I went to a school. I went to Our Lady's School in the just over the river, and I worked with a group of sixth formers who are taking part in their mock election. And they are doing a fantastic program there, getting the entire school to choose to register or not register to vote. They are having a small group of sixth formers take on the national platforms with the parties' names changed so nobody can tell what's Conservative, what's Lib Dem and so on, and to actually learn and engage with the national policies that will affect them, even though at this point they don't have the right to vote. And I worked with a group of really engaged sixth formers to teach them how to look at national policies and how to interpret them, and then how to make them relevant to their audience for speaking. And I realised with some seriousness that actually it's one of the most important things that we can do: participate in our community, make time to be involved in things in schools, in voluntary organisations, in other parts of the community. And I don't want to make a meaningless political pledge, as a lot of politicians do, certainly nationally. But I do want to say that once elected, I intend to be a civic servant inside the council chamber. And outside the council chamber, I intend to be a civic leader. And I will make as much time as possible to be available to go to community organisations, schools, and other parts of the community, and lend my skills, lend my time, lend my voice, my educative skills, and my knowledge to as many programs as possible in the city. And I'd like to make that commitment to the city now. And I think my record shows through, for example, my work with the Business Improvement District and Lancaster Music Festival, that in fact, and also Folly Arts Institute, that I am already very committed to the city. But I'd like to take that one step further and take on that important service and leadership role that comes with being elected as a city councillor.
Alright, play with it. If you want good services, vote for Cutter. If you want the arts to thrive, vote for Cutter, please, for Castle Ward.